Today, I have a truly special story for you. A tale about a brave little girl, a magical forest, and the powerful echo of truth. So, get comfy, and let's journey into the world of Lina and the Whispering Woods. Deep in a valley, nestled right against the edge of a vast enchanted forest, there was a village so picturesque it looked like it had been painted into existence. The houses had thatched roofs, and colorful flowers spilled from every window box. In this village lived a little girl named Lina. Lina wasn't just any girl. She had a spirit as bright as the summer sun and a heart full of courage. Her laughter was a familiar, happy sound that often danced on the breeze. The forest next to her village wasn't ordinary either. It was known as the Whispering Woods. The trees there were ancient and wise, with leaves that shimmered in 1,000 shades of green, but their real magic was something else entirely. These trees had a unique gift. They could sense the emotions of people who walked among them. When someone was happy, the leaves would rustle in a joyful, musical way. When someone was sad, the branches would droop as if sharing their sorrow. But most remarkably, if someone told a lie, the forest wouldn't stand for it. The trees would echo the falsehood, repeating it over and over, their voices growing louder and louder until the truth was revealed. Because of this, the villagers were always very careful with their words, especially near the woods. Lina's best friend was a boy named Milo. They were inseparable, like two peas in a pod. They spent their days exploring the meadows, chasing butterflies, and sharing secrets by the babbling brook. Lina trusted Milo completely, and their friendship felt as strong and steady as the ancient oaks in the Whispering Woods. They believed their bond was unbreakable, a promise sealed with shared giggles and countless adventures. One sunny afternoon, Lina and Milo were playing inside Lina's house. Her grandmother had a special room filled with beautiful, delicate treasures collected over many years. The centerpiece of the room was a magnificent crystal lamp. It wasn't just a lamp, it was a work of art. It was carved from a single piece of crystal, and when the light hit it just right, it would cast dancing rainbows all over the walls. It was Lina's grandmother's most prized possession, and the children had been warned many times to be extra careful around it. They were in the middle of an exciting game of hide-and-seek. Milo, trying to find the perfect hiding spot, scrambled behind the heavy velvet curtain. Inish aced his elbow knocked against the table where the crystal lamp stood. There was a heart-stopping crash. Time seemed to freeze. When Lina rushed into the room, she saw the beautiful lamp shattered on the floor, its rainbow-casting magic gone, replaced by a sad pile of broken crystal. Milo's face went pale with panic. He knew how much trouble he was in. Before Lina could even say a word, a terrible idea took root in his mind. He pointed a trembling finger at Lina and exclaimed, "She did it." Lina said, "Man, I fell into the table. It's all her fault." The words hung in the air, heavy and sharp, like the shards of glass on the floor. Lina's eyes widened in disbelief. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. Her best friend, the person she trusted most in the world, was blaming her for something she didn't do. The shock was so great, she couldn't even speak. She just stood there, her heart pounding with a mixture of confusion and hurt. Soon, Lina's grandmother and other villagers heard the commotion and gathered around. Seeing the shattered lamp and Milo's convincing, tear-streaked face, they immediately believed his story. Whispers started to circulate. "I never thought Lina would be so careless. Such a shame. That beautiful lamp." No one looked at Lina. They only saw a guilty child and a priceless heirloom destroyed. The weight of their stares was unbearable. Lina felt a deep, aching sadness well up inside her. Tears streamed down her cheeks, hot and bitter. She tried to explain, her voice small and trembling. "It wasn't me. I didn't do it." But her words were lost in the chorus of disappointed sighs and accusatory glances. Overwhelmed and heartbroken, Lina turned and ran. She didn't know where she was going. She just knew she had to get away. Her feet carried her away from the village, away from the judging eyes, and straight into the embrace of the Whispering Woods. As Lina ran deeper into the forest, her sobs echoed through the trees. The ancient branches seemed to bend down, their leaves rustling softly, as if to comfort her. The forest floor was soft with moss, muffling her footsteps. She finally collapsed at the base of a great, old willow tree, burying her face in her hands and letting all her pain and confusion pour out. The forest was quiet, listening to her sorrow, wrapping her in a gentle, silent hug. The sunlight filtered through the canopy, dappling the ground in soft patterns of light and shadow. And for a moment, Lina felt a tiny bit of peace in her lonely sanctuary. Back in the village, Milo was starting to feel a different kind of discomfort. He had escaped the blame, but a heavy feeling was settling in his stomach. Guilt? He saw the way Lina had looked at him, the pure shock and hurt in her eyes, and it haunted him. He knew he had done a terrible thing, betraying his best friend. Unable to bear the silence and the fake sympathy from the villagers, he decided he had to find Lina. He needed to. Well, he wasn't sure what he needed to do, but he knew he couldn't leave things like this. He cautiously made his way to the edge of the Whispering Woods. He called out her name, Lina. "Where are you?" He took a hesitant step among the trees, and that's when the magic began. As soon as he entered the forests, a strange whisper started. It was faint at first, like the wind sighing through the leaves, but it quickly grew clearer. A voice, sounding like a chorus of 1,000 rustling leaves, echoed through the woods. "She did it. It's all her fault." Milo froze. It was his own lie, thrown back at him. He tried to ignore it and walked faster, calling for Lina again. The echo grew louder, more insistent. "She did it. It's all her fault." The voice seemed to come from every direction at once, from the canopy above, the bushes beside him, and the very ground beneath his feet. Every tree, every leaf, every branch seemed to be shouting his lie. "She did it. It's all her fault. She did it. It's all her fault." The accusation was relentless. Milo clapped his hands over his ears, but he couldn't block out the sound. It was inside his head now, a pounding drum of his own dishonesty. The forest was judging him, and its judgment was loud and clear. The shame was overwhelming, a physical weight pressing down on him. He stumbled, his heart racing with fear and regret. He finally understood the power of the Whispering Woods. There was no hiding from the truth here. Finally, he couldn't take it anymore. He fell to his knees, tears of shame and remorse now streaming down his face. "Stop!" he cried out. "Please, stop." It wasn't her. It was me. I broke the lamp. I lied. And just like that, the moment he spoke the truth, the forest fell silent. The oppressive echoes vanished, replaced by the gentle, natural sounds of the woods, the chirp of a bird, the buzzing of a bee. A profound peace settled over the clearing. It was as if the entire forest sighed in relief. Lina, who had been hiding nearby, heard everything. She saw Milo's distress, heard the forest shout his lie, and then heard his desperate confession. She slowly stepped out from behind the willow tree. Milo looked up and saw her, his face stained with tears and full of regret. He couldn't meet her eyes. "Lina," he whispered, his voice cracking. "I'm so sorry. I was scared, and I did a horrible thing. Can you ever forgive me?" Lina looked at her friend. She saw his genuine remorse. The hurt was still there, a dull ache in her chest, but seeing him so humbled and honest softened her heart. She remembered all their happy days together, all the promises and secrets they had shared. Friendship, she realized, was more valuable than any crystal lamp. She took a deep breath and gave him a small, sad smile. "I forgive you, Milo," she said softly. And in that moment, the sunlight in the forest clearing seemed to grow a little brighter. The peace that Milo felt when he confessed now enveloped them both. The quiet of the woods was no longer sorrowful or judgmental. It was calm and healing. Together, they walked out of the Whispering Woods and back to the village, hand in hand. They went straight to Lina's grandmother and told her the whole truth. Then, they carefully gathered every single broken piece of the crystal lamp. It took them a long, long time, but working together, they managed to glue it all back together. The lamp wasn't perfect anymore. You could see the fine cracks running through the crystal like a string. But in a way, it was even more beautiful. The repaired cracks caught the light in new and interesting ways, creating unique rainbow patterns on the walls. It was a testament not to perfection, but to honesty, forgiveness, and a friendship that had been broken but was now repaired and stronger than before. Milo never told a lie again, especially not near the Whispering Woods. He learned that day that honesty is the key to peace, both in the world around you and within your own heart. and he and Lina remained the best of friends, their bond now sealed not just by laughter and adventure, but by the deep, quiet understanding that true friendship is strong enough to withstand even the most shattering of mistakes. What a powerful story, right? It just goes to show you that telling the truth, even when it's scary, is always the best path. It brings peace and keeps the things we value most, like our friendships, strong. Thank you so much for joining me for this story today.